everybody. Welcome back to the Quantum Guide Show. Today, my first time guest is Phillip Wilson, and he will share with us the latest news about the future of personal wellness technology. Whoops, just got to make sure I'm not muted. I'm good at that. Okay, so more about Phillip Wilson has been immersed in the world of holistic health and biohacking since 1971, long before the terms became mainstream. With over 5 decades of hands on experience and education, he has worked with some of the most cutting edge wellness tools and philosophies on the market. In 1980, Phillip launched both a health food store and a health products distribution company offering herbal formulas, superfoods, and holistic accessories to practitioners and retailers. His offerings include superfoods and herbal remedies, massage tools and sandals, light therapy devices known as happy lights, color therapy glasses, neti pots, inversion tables, rebounders, magnetic therapy products, and much more. His passion is helping people unlock their body's healing potential through innovative tools and education. Now, all of the links are featured below. Check me out, subscribe to my channels, leave me a comment, like my videos, and share my content with your friends. And I'm very happy to announce that I now offer YouTube memberships for my channel so that you can help to support my work and receive my perks. And of course, all the links for Phillip are also below in the description. So let's just bring him to the stage. Phillip. Good of
Hey,
you to come to be on the show today. Thank you.
it's a pleasure to be on your show, Karen.
Yeah, very nice. I'm interested in what you have to say because I've sort of walked away from mainstream medicine quite some time ago, but since the debacle, I'll just say, of 2020, 2021, a lot of people are actually afraid to go and get medical advice. So I want to say before we start, we're not doctors, at least I don't think you are. I'm not. We're not giving medical advice. Go see your medical professional should you have any questions about your own health. We're offering our own experiences and we're offering what we know and what works for us. And if that works for you guys too, that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So there, I got that out of the way, Phillip, so that we could talk freely about our experiences and what we know. So why don't you start by telling us while I go through the the live and click on some of these comments. Why don't you tell us how you got started in all of this?
Well, I started off as a very creative mathematician in high school. I was actually in my senior year published 4 times solving difficult math problems posed by a national high school magazine for gifted mathematicians. And I finished second, third, and fourth in the state of Indiana on statewide and national exams. So I was like almost a child prodigy in math.
Uh-huh.
And when I took a learning theory course, I was very disappointed because it didn't describe the peak experiences. So it's like in the movie The Brilliant Mind, or I think is that the name of the movie? You
Yeah.
know, John Nash was saying, if only all I want is one original thought. And that's like, oh my gosh, that's what we want to do is we want to get beyond the programming. So we don't believe we don't believe anything. We temporarily will believe things, but as you know, the signature of the word belief is lie, because that's in the middle. BLIEF. And so every belief is a lie. It's a half truth. But it's if you believe something, then you don't know it. So,
Mm-hmm.
as a lot of us are, we're very much into being able to be in touch so we can have those creative peak experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's what life's about. And then you go on, and then you have another one, and then you go on, and you have another daydream, and you have another one. And it leads you to freedom. It leads you to freedom. And as a person pursues freedom, most of the time they're drawn to holistic health. They're drawn to realizing that, we're called creatures.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't associate the fact that because we're called creatures, there's a reason we're called creatures, because creatures create.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but when a child is playing, they're daydreaming and creating their future. And so when a child goes out to play, they have a name for that. They call it recreation, recreation. And so we're creatures. And once a person realizes and that they have created their reality, the mess, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful, they've created it. And that's freedom, because if you created it, you can't blame anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So you become responsible, and therefore you realize that you have the freedom to recreate or to create your future. Like in the Camelot movie, Richard Harris is singing, or King Richard. The sun is always shining, the plants are always growing. Why? Because I decreed it. So as we learn, like I jokingly like to say that Bill Wilson is one of the founders of Alcohol Anonymous.
Yes.
I am Phil Wilson. Okay, it rhymes, and I'm going to start Blamers Anonymous. I used to be a blamer. I know that everyone else is to blame. First of all, your mother, and of course your next of kin. And when you catch yourself doing this, you just have to laugh and realize that it's like I used to tell my ex-wife, look, pretend we just bought the business. It doesn't matter who caused the problem that we're in right now. Let's solve it, because blaming someone doesn't solve it. Just get in the moment. We just bought the business, and what do we need to do to be where we wish to be? I think in the Conversations with God book with Neil whatever is Neil Walsh, or anyway, it says you can't ever have what you want. And the reason why is because when we want something, we're picturing ourselves not having it. So
Yes.
we picture and give passion to is what we get. So, we really need to become aware of the pictures we're looking at. and so the antidote to getting what you want is to be grateful for having what you don't already have, and be all excited about the puppy in your arms, kissing you, licking you, instead of being in a pet store in a cage.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's this kind of creative thinking that drove me. After I had an out-of-body experience, I was further sparked. Then I had a Kundalini awakening where every single cell in my body was electrified, and my whole diet, my whole body chemistry changed, and I couldn't eat the foods I was eating. So we have to sometimes let go of the beliefs we had, the foods that were good for us then. It's really hard to accept it's not good for us now. And if
Mm-hmm.
we get in the present moment and we're honest with our feelings, and we, then we say, well, what do I really want to do now? And I used to say to myself back in the early 70s, as I first started awakening, what do I really, really, really want to do? Sometimes it
Mm-hmm.
takes 4 or 5 reallys.
Mm-hmm.
And I called it the 4 reallys. And I think shortly afterwards, about 3, 4, 5 years later, there's a chapter of Wayne Dyer's book that had the 4 reallys, but he didn't see it in the same way. He had a different context on it. But again, every time you say really, it focuses you. It's like you're digging deeper. Like I think one of the greatest principles in children's nursery rhymes is 11, 12, dig and delve. Because as you dig and delve deeper into wherever you are, you can uncover more and more and more of how you really feel, and then you can respond. You know, it's like I remember when my math advisor was saying, Phil, you need to have discipline. And he was saying, you know, you need to do the math. And that's when I realized the difference between discipline and self-force. Discipline is when you apply inward pressure to get yourself to do something that you really, really, really want to do. And self-force is when you apply inner pressure to get yourself to do something you no longer want to do or don't want to do. So, you know, that brings us into, you know, I got into holistic health and fasting and Chinese herbs. The first herb I heard of was gotu kola, which is good for the brain. It's an herb that elephants eat. It's in India where it grows a lot, or Ceylon, the islands just south of India. And then I heard about ginseng, and then I heard about Chinese herbs and you know, and American herbs, and then spirulina and chlorella and superfoods and green powders and medicinal mushrooms. And I mean, there's no end to what they're doing right now in terms of finding superfoods that can give you the energy you want without having to do coffee or caffeine. And see, the goal is like when I put people in the relaxed sauna, which you can see over this shoulder, the people come out of it and say, you know, I don't quite understand it. I feel really relaxed, and yet I feel energized. And, you know, as someone who started meditating, and then meditation is sort of like a misnomer. You just sit still and you do something. Once you meditate and get to a spot, then you can be creative. And then it's the rules change. And now you start creating your reality and start daydreaming about what you really want to do once you're in a state of calm. So the idea is to be able to be relaxed and revitalized at the same time. And it's funny because selling massage tools, massage sandals, inversion machines, rebounders, color therapy glasses, neti pots, tongue cleaners, water filters, air filters. I mean, you juicers, you name it, the whole gamut. I started selling. I opened up a health food store in 1980 accidentally. It was never planned. Then I did decide that if I needed to make money, and I started wholesaling. I would buy massage tools in quantities of 100, 200, 300 and more, and then sell them to stores and health professionals. So I sort of like accidentally started a business selling wholesale to health food stores and health professionals, and at the same time had a health food store sort of like in Columbus, Ohio, about a couple miles north of Ohio State University. And that's how I got my business career. I never expected to be in the business world. I was an ivory tower wannabe. I was expecting to be, when you're in math, about all you can do in math is do research and teach. And so I couldn't get a job doing that because I didn't get my master's. And so I had to start selling herbal vitamins, which I was doing part-time. I had to jump off and sell it full-time. And of course, that was part of the way where you do your destiny. And so it's exciting. And I'm here today to do everything I can to educate the people about holistic health, about getting in touch with your body. And the pinnacle of all the products I've ever sold in my health food store in the last 45 years is the Relax Sauna. And it's a far infrared sauna and way more than that. And I can talk about that in more detail. I think I'm going to let you talk and ask me questions, and then I can, you know, and I'd like to know just a little bit about your background, although I can tell by the wonderful Dame Quantum Guide show and the beautiful artwork, which in my fourth grade report card, my social studies teacher, you know, made a comment. Phil spends too much time playing with his many colored fountain pens. So I love the color. I just, you know, color excites me. It does something to my eye. So anyway, and the name Quantum, of course, you know, one of the companies I deal with, their name is called Quantum Collective. And another company. They're called quantum balance crystals. So quantum is a great word, and it means something too.
Mhm.
You may want to explain what quantum means, and I can relate it to the relaxed sauna.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to back up a little bit and say that probably quite a few people in my audience are now more aware than ever of the whole energetic reality that we live in, and how the mainstream medical is a disease management or a symptom management system. So there's no healing in a symptom management system, because all they want to do is they want you to have the symptoms, but to not have the discomfort from them. I myself have found that often the discomfort or even the suffering that I undergo as a part of my healing is my healing. So if you remove the headache, I don't know that I have a pain in my head. Why do I have a pain in my head? Maybe I'm allergic to something. Maybe it's the shampoo and the chemicals I'm using. So I very much like you, Phil, as I started to progress in my spirituality. First of all, I want to say that I spent many, many years making sure that my later years would be absolutely miserable. So I was walking around with almost 200 pounds of excess body weight. I was toxic from the shampoos and the chemicals and the pharmaceuticals I was taking. But one thing I noticed, one of the first things was a big sign that I was on the right path, was I couldn't eat what I used to be able to eat. In fact, I couldn't hardly eat at all. And I started to notice foods that were better quality than what I was used to giving myself. So I'm not going to, sorry, I don't want to go on too long because I want to give you the spotlight to talk about the relaxed sauna. But I do want to say from my own experience, I have had the best success from listening to my higher self, my inner self, my body, how my body's feeling, and staying the hell away from experts, meaning mainstream medical experts, because every time I did what I was told, I ended up sicker and in worse shape than I was before. So I just want to throw that out there so that you have a little bit of an idea of my background. So as I grew spiritually, I lost body weight, excess body weight. I lost symptoms of different illnesses. My whole life started to change. And eventually, once I detoxified enough, my paranormal stuff started manifesting. So I'll leave it there. But please feel free to go on and tell us about the relaxed sauna, what's different about it, what's good about it, and anything you want to say. I'm thrilled to bits to have you here. Thank you.
Great. Um, Tesla mentioned that the future of medicine, and a couple Edison mentioned it, and even Jacob Lieberman, an ophthalmologist in the last 50 years, has mentioned that the future of medicine is frequency and light energy, and vibration. And Pythagoras, the great the teacher of the founder of modern mathematics, said that everything is number, everything is vibration, everything vibrates. So taking that into account, we as human beings, animals, mammals, and birds, we all vibrate at a certain frequency. It's a wavelength. And water is also a molecule, and it has a vibrational frequency, and the wavelength of water is almost the same as the human body. Dr. Gerald Pollack wrote the book Fourth Phase of Water. And in the book, he said that our bodies are actually 99% water. Most of us are taught it's 70% or 79%. It's sort of interesting that like the oceans covers about 79% of the world. And that's what many people say, that 79% of our water molecules, or of our body, are water molecules. I think Dr. Pollack sort of indicates that, yes, that's true, but actually in all the cells besides the water, the water is a part of almost every cell besides as well. So maybe he is correct about 99%. I got him in the relaxed sauna. He really liked it. And he's the one who popularized and pointed out that there is a fourth phase of water, which is a gel-like substance in which nothing can dissolve into it. He calls it exclusion zone water, because this gel-like substance in between water and ice, nothing can be dissolved into. It's pure. And he discovered in one of his workers dropped some light on a lamp on the exclusion zone water, and noticed that the water became more. Now, another way to describe exclusion zone water, perhaps, or not totally sure, but it's called structured water. Everyone is talking about the importance of structured water. Now, there are many, many different kinds of frequencies in vibrational medicine. I'll name a few. There's red light that's becoming really, really popular, which is totally different than far infrared light. There's near infrared light, which is when you use a TV remote, or you go to a hotel or the airport and you put your hand out and water comes out. That's using near infrared technology. And near infrared has abilities. They're both known for helping the mitochondria create energy. Far infrared does sort of greater, but there's a lot of I won't say propaganda, but there's a lot of hype over it because the products are sort of new, the red light especially. And just like when the portable saunas came out about 25 years ago, they were selling for a lot. Like all the Amazon saunas were selling for $500, $600, $700, and now they're selling for $200, $300 because they were marked up. Because right now the red lights, they're marked up about 20 times what it costs them to make, compared to most products are sold for 5 to 6 times in this world what it costs to make. That's just what a businessman needs to get to make a profit and have time for marketing and paying the employees. So there's PEMF, there's microcurrent technology, there's ozone, there's hyperbaric oxygen, there's cryotherapy. There are many, many different technologies. And again, there's also sound waves. Sound is very, very important. There's ultrasound. There's Rife technology, Rife machine technology as well. And that's Royal Rife created, I think, in the 20s or 30s, a way to find the frequency of a disease and to give you that same exact frequency, and it would sort of like implode the disease, and the disease could not stay in your body. Excuse me. So the relaxed sauna it took 10 years in Taiwan for the relaxed sauna company to come out with a technology, a semiconductor chip. This is the semiconductor chip. And the purpose of this computer technology is to take electricity and to filter out the near infrared energy, which is helpful, but it doesn't help for vibrating the water molecules. It doesn't help for detoxifying the body, and to only give you the far infrared light that's the same vibration as our bodies. It turns out that, like everyone knows, that a solar panel is a repository for sunlight, and that the sunlight's absorbed by the solar panel and it stores energy. Well, our bodies are repositories for far infrared light energy, and the far infrared light between 7 and 14 microns, because the frequency of the human body and mammals and birds is 9.4 microns. For those who know about nanometers, that's 9,400 nanometers. And water is 8,000 nanometers. Red ends at 760 nanometers. Red is from, I think, 610 nanometers to 760. And I'm talking about 8,000 to 9,400, or from 7,000 to 14,000. So the wavelength is 10 times the size. It's much longer wavelength. And just as crystals, will vibrate and resonate, or tuning forks, our body responds to far infrared light. It just absorbs it. Dr. Pollack said in his book, in his talks, that the plants, that the far infrared light from the sun gives them the power to move and to bend. And that's because it vibrates the water molecules. So what does a far infrared sauna do? It does one thing only. It vibrates the water molecules. By vibrating the water molecules, it also increases the structured water in your body 50 to 100%. And that's a lot.
That is a lot. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I'm somebody who in recent years started spending a lot of time in the sun. When we get the sun, I'm in Alberta, Canada, so we have 6 months of cold. But we have about 3, 4, even 5 months where we get quite a lot of sun. And I love to go out and bake in the sun. It's just something about it. So I've done some research that says that sunlight actually helps us to restructure the water in our bodies. And I'm wondering if the relax sauna, is it the same frequency as the far infrareds that we get from the sun? And would it affect us in a beneficial way, in a similar way?
And the answer is yes. When you go out into the sun on a hot day, or on a cold day with a winter coat on when the sun is shining,
Mm-hmm.
and you close your eyes and you focus on what you're feeling in your body from the sun, you can feel that deep, deep penetrating warmth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the far infrared ray. That's the loving light of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
That's the frequency. That's the magical frequency. That same light from the sun goes through the sand and vibrates the water molecules in turtle eggs, and activates the turtle to grow in the embryo to grow into a turtle.
Huh.
See, that's why the Relax Sauna company in Taiwan was asked by a Japanese company, can you create out of electricity a frequency or wavelengths of light that predominate at the hot springs in southern Japan, where people go and they miraculously get healed.
Mm-hmm.
So the Relax Sauna company in Taiwan, an electrical company, said, sure. 10 years later, 1997, they were asked this question in 1987. They said, we did it. We were able to create this semiconductor chip, and that's a computer program. And the chip itself is made from far infrared materials, and it gets hot. And so when you go in the Relax Sauna, you have two kinds of heat. You're basically, they're not heaters, they're emitters of far infrared light. And the far infrared light causes your water molecules to vibrate, and that in turn, like 100 people in a small room dancing, if all of your water molecules are vibrating or dancing, your body temperature is going to get hot.
Mm-hmm.
Hippocrates is going to chime in with his 2 cents, because he always does that, and saying, find me a way to create fever and I will cure any disease. So the one thing that far infrared saunas do. Now, the reason the Relax Sauna, we have 1,000 video testimonies on our YouTube channel. You just go to YouTube and you put in Relax Sauna testimonials, and there's lots of them. And then you go to the Relax Sauna logo and you click on it. There's about 1,000 of them. The reason we have so many people who have, we got about 1,000 of them, about 300 of the video testimonies are comparing it to other saunas. And I have heard, I've probably put 150,000 people in the Relax Sauna at about 500 different health shows in the last 23 years. And I've seen 30,000 minor or major miracles, from a person's sciatica pain of 7-8 going away in 15 minutes that he's had it for 6.5 weeks constantly, to a lady's migraine headache, pain 8, usually takes 3 days to get rid of it, and it's gone in 8 minutes. People with leg pain, arthritis pain, elbow pain that hasn't been gone down for a year, in one session it goes away. If you could be, it doesn't, the far infrared energy, what it does, it's sort of magical. It vibrates the water molecules, and that in turn creates the body temperature to increase, and that's the fever that Hippocrates talked about. And when you go and research what does a fever do, there are 5 main things. It detoxifies the body, which means it mobilizes the lymphatic system. It increases circulation, lowers blood pressure, it increases the circulation system, gets rid of stagnant areas of the body, gets rid of pain and inflammation. Number 3, it oxygenates the body, and that's going to help the respiratory system, and it's going to kill anaerobic bacteria, and it's going to flood the body with oxygen and can kill parasites. That's the respiratory system. And the parasympathetic nervous system, that's where Relax Sauna stands out beyond compare. Because, see, a guy did some research, and he did some research and found out what the Relax Sauna, what the far infrared saunas do in the research, and they increase heart rate variability. Now, heart rate variability is a function of the parasympathetic nervous system being activated. And that's where you get very relaxed, you get grounded, you feel, especially in the Relax Sauna, more so than other saunas, you feel a gentle pressure to get you into the present moment. You feel grounded, you feel connected, and truthfully, you feel loved. You feel like you're basically basking in unconditional love or divine love. And a lot of people will say, I feel like I'm surrounded by a warm blanket, or my loving grandma has given me a wonderful, loving hug. And so 300 of these people comparing the Relax Sauna to other saunas they've been in, including $10,000 wooden infrared saunas, say, I never felt like I was being hugged by my grandfather. I had this warm, loving feeling. And that's because far infrared ray energy in our body is a repository for that. It charges the body in the same way that solar panel absorbs sunlight, and you have all this stored energy. So the body gives us all this stored energy of far infrared ray. And that's, when we talk about the fever, we talk about those 5 systems of the parasympathetic being activated. And that in turn, when you get really in the moment, and I have a great definition of pain. It's the awareness of time.
Sure is.
If you've ever hurried or worried or waited, all very painful activities. And so when you get to the moment, the present moment, of course, in reality, there really is no time and space. There's only duration. And it's funny, I read a book in the early 70s called The Talons of Time. And in the book, the evil ones were called the time makers. And so basically, when you get in the Relax Sauna, you really almost feel timeless. And then instead of having this nervous caffeine energy, you plug into the mitochondria start creating a nice energy. So people, experience in the relaxed sauna being relaxed and revitalized at the same time. And that's when you do meditating and, and
Mm-hmm.
get to that next level, that's what's supposed to happen. When you go deep into what you really, really, really want to do, then you get
Mm-hmm.
relaxed and energized at the same time. And other saunas don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
All the saunas are going to have a benefit, even the Finnish saunas, and they're all going to have benefit because you can't be in denial. People have a $250 Amazon sauna, and they're raving about it. Now, my explanation of that: if you live 5 miles from a grocery store and you don't have a vehicle, and I give you a bicycle, and you're telling everyone how wonderful this bicycle is, you're just so excited. And later on, I say, why don't you come with me? I'm going to the store. And you say, well, no, I already have a vehicle. Thank you so much, but I have a vehicle and I love it. Then later on, for some reason, you come with me in my Mercedes and you say, I can't believe how quick that was. And it was comfortable. And it was really exciting because I could take all the groceries back in one trip. So, people, like there are many, like you can take a vitamin B supplement, but not being enough of it, or not
Mm-hmm.
taking enough of it. So what's exciting about the relaxed sauna, it gets the job done. And we have people with $10,000 wooden saunas in their homes, and they come to my booth, and for $1,700, they buy a relaxed sauna as an upgrade because it takes 30 seconds to preheat. It takes 8 minutes to start sweating. And in 15, 20 minutes, you've had the best sweat of your life. Now, what's also interesting when I do these conferences, I tell people in 5 to 7 minutes, you will get rid of 50% to 100% of your pain every time without sweating, with your clothes on. And people, they don't believe me. They get in and say, oh my God. I just I didn't believe you. And so, but the whole idea is far infrared light. There's a book called Detoxify or Die that spawned the industry by Dr. Sherry Rogers. She was an environmental medical doctor, and she was people with multi-chemical sensitivities and people with environmental concerns were left to dead by the medical establishment. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Which is what we've been talking about, and and from my past as well. And so she got them all better in the late 1990s with far infrared saunas, with the wooden ones. They're
Mm-hmm.
50% near, 50% far. I'm not sure what they are. People don't tell you, but they worked and they got the job done. Now it turns out that our bodies, again, are repositories of far infrared ray. So when it comes at us, it's absorbed into it. Now near infrared, when it comes at us, it only goes in about 1/16 of an inch, and it's
Mm-hmm.
because it's not the same wavelength as up, we resist it. But
Mm-hmm.
when you get the far infrared coming at us, the same as us, so we don't even notice it. So there's no resistance, and that's why it goes in 2 inches, and it's vibrational. Now near infrared works with photobiomodulation. The cells in our body have receptors. You could call them eyes, and they are chromophores, where the near infrared and the red light are absorbed into that, and they can then help with the mitochondria and create energy. But
Mm-hmm.
they do not detoxify you. They do not vibrate the water molecules. And it's the vibration of the water molecules. And again, water is the universal thing in this world. It's all about the water. It's all about the water. Fourth phase of water, Dr. Gerald Pollack. And
Mm-hmm.
so the far infrared energy is the same frequency as water, because that's what water is. It's a far infrared molecule. And so the problem with other saunas not being able to get the job done as well as the relaxed saunas because they have too much near infrared and not enough far.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is something that I've been educating more and more people about every year. And I didn't have to talk about red light 3-4 years ago, and 8 years ago I didn't have to talk about near infrared. But since there's a lot of I don't want to say hype, but there's a lot of everyone is talking about, not everyone, but a lot of people are talking about red light. And when you and a lot of people are talking about near, but they have no clue that the far infrared sauna by Relax is far more therapeutic. We've tested it. We sent the Relax sauna, a $1,400 full spectrum sauna, to Harvard MIT Science and Technology Lab, along with an Amazon sauna. And the report was we were 8%, we were 100% far. The other one was the 1400 sauna was 8% far, 37% mid, and 55% near. Their frequency was between 1.2 and 6 microns. The relaxed sauna was between 7 and 14, and the Amazon saunas was actually 100% near. It was between 0.95 and 1.32. Now that may be academic, but what they did say is that the relaxed sauna was 450% more therapeutic than the Amazon sauna, and 350% the intensity of the penetration, than the $1,400 sauna. We also had 1/12 the EMF of the low EMF $1,400 sauna, and they had 1/15 of the Amazon sauna. So that's just one report. Another person did research on reddit.com and compared the Amazon sauna had 0.5 degree increase in 25 minutes. The $500 Amazon sauna, same results, no increase in heart rate variability. And the relaxed sauna had a 3.2 degree increase in the body temperature. And that's the fever Hippocrates talks about. And heart rate variability. The research on infrared saunas or far infrared saunas, that's the way to measure the therapeutic value, how much it increases heart rate variability, which is the increase in space between heartbeats, which helps the body be able to handle anything that comes at it. That's like a Qigong master or a martial art master or a jiu-jitsu master. In there, they can handle anything coming at them because they're in the present moment. And what relaxed sauna was able to do, it blew away significantly more increase in heart rate variability. We had a chiropractor at a show. He came in with his Apple Watch. His heart rate variability was 50. Got in the relaxed sauna for 7-8 minutes. It was 30. When he got out, it was 136. It blew him away. We also had a man at a Tesla Tech conference in New Mexico about 1.5 years ago. And he got in and said, oh my gosh, I can feel the mitochondria in my fingers and my hands, in my legs, in my torso, in my brain. He said, I've got $6,000 value equipment that can't even come close to doing what this does. So
wow.
Yeah. We had another person test the relaxed sauna, and in terms of joule output, the physical energy, and he's tested hundreds of devices, and none have even come close to what the relaxed sauna did for increasing the energy. But again, soft, loving light, the warmth that you feel like you're basking in divine love. And I tell people this is loving light. A chiropractor, or no, as a medical doctor, came to a show and said, what is this? I said, it's loving light. He said, well, I'm a medical doctor. Can you? And so I gave him the spiel. I talked about Dr. Yamaguchi, who's done a lot of research in Japan. He says that when the 7 to 14 micron frequency of far infrared light, that'll vibrate the water molecule, and that will also release toxic poisonous gases. It'll antidote the negative effects of microwave EMF. It will also antidote sunburn. And, and I talked about the circulation increases, it lowers blood pressure because the water molecules are vibrating. The angle goes from 32 degrees to 27 degrees, so the water molecules become smaller, so it increases circulation. He came back the next day and said, the best description was loving light. and that's, I mean, it's like time and time again, it's like, it's almost fun because so many people will have a wooden sauna. I've got an $8,000 wooden sauna. And a lot of those saunas cost a lot of money to run because they have the 220 volt. But,
yeah, that's what one of my a woman from my audience is asking.
yeah.
Fearlessly Phoenixing is asking, how is the sauna on the energy bill? Like, how much does it cost to run it?
Well, it costs it's 1,400 watts. So if you do it for an hour, that's about 1.5 kilowatts. So if your electricity company costs you 15 cents a kilowatt, that'd be about 22 cents for an hour. That's twice a day. And 22 cents times 30 days is about $6.60. So it's going to cost you $5, $6, $7. If there's two people both using it twice, $10, $11 a day. Not much at all. And but the value you get from it, the value is so great. I tell people, people come back a year later after I'm doing a conference. To me, conferences are all high school reunions. I've been to this one conference like 15 straight years, and they come back and I said, I'm glad you're buying one this year, and that's going to save you $18,000 over the next year, because the relaxed sauna is worth $50 a day. And in 360 days, that's about $18,000. And again, I'm so grateful that so many people have benefited, for the benefits of a relaxed sauna, because it's as a matter of fact, I tell people, do you want to experience gratefulness? I jokingly say I give gratefulness classes every Tuesday, and then after talking about the importance of being grateful, then I say, well, now you need an experience. You get in the relaxed sauna, and after 7 minutes, that's what grateful feels like, because you feel so damn good. You feel balanced. You feel clean. You feel cleansed. It's way better than zest could ever be.
Now, we're quickly running out of time, but I have a quick question for you. And that is, they've been doing all kinds of experiments, I guess, for lack of a better word. They found that a lot of the illnesses that people are struggling with are actually caused by some form of what they're calling diabetes, and it is all stems from illness around the mitochondria. So, for instance, if your mitochondria in your brain are not working well, then you get Alzheimer's. If your mitochondria in your pancreas aren't working, you don't get the insulin. How does the relaxed sauna affect the mitochondrion that's all over in the body, different systems?
Well, like near and red infrared, one of the things they do is help with the mitochondria. But by the relaxed sauna cleansing and detoxifying your body, we're making the terrain clean. And so we actually have more mitochondrial increase than the near and the red. And this is coming up. This is coming to light. Like a friend of mine told me about 10 years ago, he said, they're going to find out that far infrared energy is one of the best things for breathing and for asthma and for any kind of bronchial problems. Now I know the neuropathy, okay, it's helped a lot because you're getting all the water molecules to vibrate. You do not get the water molecules to vibrate with red or near. And so 50% near and 50% far. The 50% near, it's a nice energy, but it's a little harsh because it's not absorbed into the body. It's not, we resist it. So that's considered harsh. And I don't know, I think most of the saunas are only 20% far, 80% near. I know sunlight is about 50%, 55% near, but only about 2 or 3% far. You get a lot of near already, and sunlight is like one of the best things for you. Now, Dr. Lorraine Day said that people do not get cancer from the sun. That's a myth. They get cancer by eating a sad diet and being in the sun. But people who eat a healthy diet, it doesn't happen. Sunlight is really one of the best things. And during COVID, when they said, don't go outside, oh my God, that's don't, all the things they told you not to do are the things that heal you. I've been in the holistic health business for 55 years. You know, and I couldn't eat anything. I was pretty much a fruitarian for 9 months after that Kundalini awakening. I was living dates and figs and cashews for about 80% of my diet and fasting a lot. But so I became really sensitive. And when I ate something that wasn't, I would get it's great when you can get biofeedback right away.
Yeah.
But in terms of autism and Lyme disease, that's a neurological disorder. And the sauna, the relaxed sauna, there's an autism research place, and they use the relaxed sauna because they get best results with the relaxed sauna than any other sauna. Same with, we have 20 video testimonies on Lyme disease alone on our YouTube channel. We have many famous doctors. I mean, like, I'm sure you remember Louise Gittleman from way back. I mean, I've got a video from her raving about the relaxed sauna. I got 2 videos from Judy Mikovits. I have two vaccine injured nurses raving about the relaxed sauna, crying because they can have feeling in their hands for the first time in 2 years. They can feel circulation in their legs. Neuropathy, neurological disorders, for some reason, and I don't know quite yet, although I have people working with me. We also found out that we actually have research in 2024 that we get lead out of the cells of mammals. No other research have I seen that, but the relaxed works more therapeutically, and the price is great. It's got a 1-year warranty. The website is relaxsaunas.com. That's relaxsaunas with an S.com. And we haven't talked about this previously, but your last name is Holton. So let's say if you go to the Relax Sauna discount, as soon as I'm finished talking, I'll go to the website, and if they put in the discount code at checkout, Holton, Holton, they'll get $100 off for Relax Sauna.
Oh, awesome. Now that's what I wanted to finish up with. So we've only got like 5 minutes left, but I want to know, a lot of the listeners and myself, we're in Canada, and we are hearing all this stuff about tariffs and this and that. So besides the exchange rate from the Canadian dollar to USD, what other expenses can people look forward to, for lack of a better term, so they can receive their relaxed saunas here in Canada?
Well, say that again. I'm sorry.
Okay, I live in Canada. A lot of my viewers
Right,
also live in Canada. So we know that when we go to your
right,
website
yeah,
and we're
right,
taking a look at ordering the
yeah,
relaxed sauna, there's going to be
yeah,
an exchange rate from our dollar to your dollar.
right.
But besides that, our Canadian government is just nonstop complaining about the tariffs. So what kind of tariffs or other expenses could people look forward to if they want to order, if they're in Canada and
Well,
they want to order the relaxed
here's
sauna?
what I will do for anyone who orders a sauna using the code Holton. We will rebate them any duty that they have to pay. That'll be
Ah,
special. Okay. So if they're charged $100 or 200 or 50 or whatever it is, part of the deal is we will do that. You know, after they just let us know how much it was, and we will rebate them. You know, because we can do it as a refund on our Shopify thing. So that'll be part of the special. And we sell the relaxed sauna through health professionals and influencers, and through fitness coaches, and people who give all sorts of counseling. So anyone who's an influencer, or a medical doctor, a massage therapist, a colon hydrotherapist, or whatever they do, if they do any kind of those people, after they purchase one, can talk to us about how we can help co-promote, because that's what life's
Awesome.
about. Yeah.
Awesome. So, just to be clear, because I was reading the chat and missed a few words that you said, do you have a partner in Canada, and do you offer people the opportunity to be distributors? Maybe you answered that and I wasn't paying
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah. And if people, if they qualify, like
Mm-hmm.
if they have a clinic, or if they're a big influencer, they can contact us after they purchase their first sauna, and we can talk about them being. That's how this is. We have 1,000, 1,500. We have probably 100 people in Canada who actually sell the sauna, but we drop ship for all of them. We
Right, right.
you know so right now, that's just the way it is. I mean, I get about 500 saunas in every month.
Mm-hmm.
But there's we love talking to people about what we can do. You have to realize the relaxed sauna is a $20,000 sauna. It's worth it, $20,000. If MasterCard is priceless, the relaxed sauna is worth $20,000. It's not a $1,700 sauna. It's worth
Mm-hmm.
it. What it can do, there's no wooden $10,000 sauna that can do what the relaxed sauna does in terms of therapeutic value. In terms of the relaxed sauna, travels in a suitcase. It fits in a carrying case. It's and any other sauna that you travel with is going to be $200 oversized to travel with it on a plane.
Yeah.
It takes 3 minutes to set up, 2 minutes to tear down. It takes 30 seconds to feel it. You feel warm and hugged in 3 minutes. In 8 minutes, you're sweating. 20 minutes, you have a complete sweat. And it's soft and loving and gets the job done. And miracles happen that just do not happen with other saunas, because it's the exact wavelength that Dr. Yamaguchi talks about. It's the right
Mm-hmm.
frequency, and that's the difference. The problem with other saunas, they have too much near and not enough far. But
Right.
they're all good. All the saunas are good, but they're not. They don't have, like, all what the detox specialist in Las Vegas gave away her $1,400 portable sauna. She gave away her higher dose blanket because they didn't detoxify her as much, and the other saunas left her de-energized instead of revitalized. And that's
Mm-hmm.
because far revitalizes, and the near sometimes wears you out.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it definitely makes a difference. It definitely makes a difference. So I hope all of those listeners and viewers out there will take this seriously. And if you've got a wooden sauna or a beechwood sauna or whatever, you might want to consider taking a look at the relaxed saunas so that you can get that deep, penetrating love harmonic and healing. I want to thank you very much, Philip, for coming on the show today. It's been very interesting. I haven't had anybody on the show yet who offers, the relaxed sauna, or has such a deep background in natural healing and understands the whole thing from a quantum, well, from a quantum perspective, as we mentioned earlier. Quantum actually means little bits of information from a lot of different sources that comes together to form something unique. So I really do appreciate you bringing that to the program today, and I wish you the very best. And this podcast is going to go out on all the audio platforms. It's already on X and Rumble and YouTube, but I'm going to uploaded again to YouTube. It'll also get uploaded to Odyssey, and it will be on Telegram. So you get hopefully lots of exposure. And I really appreciate you for coming on the show today, for reaching out and contacting me. It was very, very excellent. Now, I also want to thank all of you who came to the live chat, because I know it takes a lot for you to give up part of your day. I mean, it's nice for those listening on audio and on replays at their leisure. But those of you who make the effort to come on in the live chat on the show, I appreciate you very much, Denise and Helena. And we had Tennessee, Kentucky, Bigfoot in here. We had Hillbilly Herb in here. I already mentioned, Fearlessly Phoenixing. She's amazing. And all of you took time out of your busy day to come and spend time with us. So I want to give you a special thank you. And of course, everybody else, thanks also for sharing this out with your friends and family. Phillip, before we say goodbye, just one more time, where can people find you?
It's Saunas with an S.com. They can always contact me by email, phil@relaxsaunas with an S.com. Talking about quantum, the far infrared saunas gives you packs of energy called photons. Now, the difference between the relaxed sauna and other saunas, that the photons transform the body into phonons, which is a pack of energy with sound, and the near doesn't do that. The far does, and we're discovering more and more about it. But so I wanted to say, if you have a $10,000 wooden sauna, you do not have the relaxed sauna technology, and that's and when people get in, not everyone recognizes, but about half the people do. They say, this is special. And that's what we want you to realize, that there's always another level of technology. There's always a greater version of yourself. And this can cleanse and purify your body. And the more you purify your body and your mind and your emotions, the freer you are and the more connected you are to the divine. And it's all about freedom. And when you're totally free, then you can feel loved, and you can let love flow through you to others. And that's sort of like getting to what life is all about.
For sure. So everybody go check Phillip and his Relax Sauna out at relaxsaunas with an S at the end.com. And on that happy note, we'll say bye-bye, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you again soon. Thank you for joining me for the Quantum Guide Show. Become the change that you wish to see in the world. Subscribe to my YouTube and other channels at Karen Holton TV. Click the like button, leave me a comment, and share this podcast with your friends. Read about my true life ET contact in my book called Transdimensional: Meet the New Neighbors, which is now available in Amazon bookstores worldwide. Check out my website at www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com to see my free resources and amazing products and services. All the links will be in the description below. As part of the Forbidden Knowledge Network, you will find the Quantum Guide Show with Karen Holton, and also the Aliens and Angels podcast on all audio platforms. Until next time, keep up the good work.